What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Happier, Healthier Arkansas podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Cameron Daniels. I have an amazing guest today, and I know I say this every single time. I know I do, but I have a very near and dear special friend to me today. She is all into breaking free from diet culture because we know of the horrendous expectations that can come with that. Before we get started, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the podcast. We have awesome guests coming on here, as well as Dr. Grant and I giving takes all around Arkansas in ways that we can make it happier and healthier, and to be very unfortunate, some ways that we are not. So, without further ado, I want to introduce my good friend, Lauren Robertson with Kingdom Wellness 360. Lauren, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited. I think it's
Come on.
been, 3 years since the last time we did a podcast together?
Something like that. That's how it works, right? I get something started,
Yeah.
and then stuff happens, and it gets pushed to the wayside. But we're doing it now
Time's
again.
flying.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I mean, you've been doing it.
Yeah, we've been. It's one of those that's like, it's one of those that, like, yes, we've been doing it, but then like life hits. I just had we just had our third daughter, but Grant and I are trying to be a lot more intentional this year, particularly with the podcast and everything. So I'm looking forward to doing this one, and then God willing, one inside of the actual studio. I know I asked you this on the last time, okay, but I always like to start off the podcast like this, just to kind of reaffirm the people. Question one is this: how do you make Arkansas happier and healthier?
I love that question. It's really near and dear to my heart to help people actually get healthier, not just lose weight, not just try to chase a physical goal, not just, so I'm a healthy lifestyle coach. That's the name that I've given myself. And I'm a certified nutritionist, a certified exercise therapist. I'm a holistic health specialist. And I use all of those tools along with my relationship with God and Jesus and everything to combine nutrition and fitness and mindset in a way that helps people actually get healthier, not just let's hit a weight loss goal, which I mean happens during your journey when you are getting healthier if you have excess fat on your body. But my big goal to help Arkansas get happier and healthier is to really start to take care of ourselves by aligning with our design and not just chasing diets, chasing diet culture, eating less, grinding ourselves into nothingness, and losing track of who we are as humans. So that's kind of what I do in a nutshell.
So I'm now going to ask this question. Okay,
Mhm.
I can go on Instagram right now. I can just type in healthy lifestyle coach or health coach or this coach or that coach, and then there's Lauren Robertson. Genuinely, how are you able to stand out from the millions of people that are on Instagram right now pumping out medical advice or health advice?
I think that what really makes my stuff stand out, one is it's Christ-centered. So I talk about bringing God in on the journey is a big, big part of what I do. But also in the beginning, like when I first got started, they were like, you got to pick a thing. You got to be the nutrition girl, or you got to be the fitness girl, or you got to be the mindset girl. And if you're the mindset girl, you're never going to make money. I'm like,
Right,
okay,
right,
well,
right.
I just feel in my heart of hearts that I need to give you all of those things. So the thing that I offer is that you're going to get a holistic experience with me. You're going to get nutrition advice, you're going to get a personalized fitness plan, and you're going to get mindset, and you're getting one-on-one coaching with me too. And so as far as I know, and I've been out there in this space for a long time now, I don't know anyone else who does it with all of those pieces in a way that's effective. And just this past year, I actually launched a program that makes that journey a lot more efficient. And I have a 100% success rate with the women that have gone through that. And it is for women only, too. That's something else that sets me apart.
Boo. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Boo. No,
Women,
uh,
what I mean, I will say that men benefit from this because their wives are doing it, and that's changing the trajectory of their family's health. Because we set the tone for our health, like the whole family's health, and so I know many men who have benefited from their wives, coaching with me. So, but I don't coach men specifically.
Yeah, yeah. And one of those, full transparency, is Megan, my wife. I thought it was beautiful and incredible seeing her go through the process. It was the first time that she kind of like did something for herself. You know what I mean? She's like, I really want to do this, and I'm like, okay, well, let's make it happen. So not only just thank you for doing that, but what I really loved about Megan, and we'll get into this as well. What we really love about Megan's story, and we should really maybe have her on, something or some of your content to be able to do like a video testimony or something. But you know, Megan, the beautiful thing about her is when she was going through it, not only was she pregnant, she ended up getting pregnant during it. But at first, we weren't tracking weight. This is a
Yeah.
huge thing, right? We were not
Yeah.
tracking weight for her. You were tracking, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I don't know the full dynamics of it, but
No, you're right.
she was really, really pleased with the inches that she was losing. Because she's already pretty small, right? But for her, in that initial phase before she got pregnant, like she was losing the inches. She wasn't losing the weight necessarily, but she was losing inches. And I almost guarantee if we did a DEXA scan or if we did like an in-body scan or something, which we didn't for her, but we would have seen that her body fat percentage went down and her muscle mass increased. How do those dynamics work?
So I love that you asked that. Something that's really interesting, and I think again maybe is something that sets me apart, is that no matter what season of life you're in, whether you're in a healing season or you're pregnant or you're postpartum or you're in menopause or perimenopause or literally any season of your life that you're in, whether you're healing mentally, physically, anything, the the program that I teach or what I teach is not a weight loss protocol. It is a take care of a healthy human body protocol, and it works for every season. So it worked for her pre-pregnancy. It worked after she got pregnant to take care of her body the way that her body
For
needed
sure.
during pregnancy. It works for her postpartum, and it worked for me post surgery. It worked for me in a weight loss season. It worked for me in a getting out of pain with my body season. It's working for women that are going into menopause, and in menopause, post menopause, um, because it's foundational. It's really talking about um, take like we don't focus on weight loss. Now, some people come in with a weight loss goal, and that's fine. I'm not anti weight loss,
Okay.
but I am pro focusing on health first. And oftentimes, what happens when we kind of detach from the idea that we have to chase this body weight or this size or whatever it is, we we lose we lose a piece of ourself, and we get very mentally distracted from like self-care and stop listening to our bodies and stop listening to what we need. Um, but what I do is I help you to refocus on foundational habits and taking care of your body, nourishing it, not restricting it. And I teach you not only what to do, but then why you're doing it and how to keep doing it. Because one of my big goals is to teach you so well that like you don't need me anymore and that you never need another thing anymore because you know what to do. And I mean, I've come back to this same habits that I teach my people over and over and over again. And I went into a fat loss season after my surgery 2 years ago. But it took my body a year to heal. And during that whole time that I was healing, I was still doing these same habits. I was just doing them with different intention. I wasn't being restrictive on any kind of food. I was eating a lot to nourish myself and to heal. But nobody teaches that. Nobody teaches you about the different seasons that you're going to go through in your life and how to support your body through it. And nobody teaches you how to learn how to listen to your body because our God made our bodies so amazing, and they do like we get hunger cues, and we get cravings, and we're tired or we're sore, or what do those things even mean though? What do we need and how do we address it? And so that's what I teach my ladies through the 6 month journey that I lead them through.
Well, we see it happen all the time, right? Where it's like people are waiting for that right time to start going to the gym or to start,
Mhm.
having a balanced plate or to start, going for walks. Like when the time's
Mhm.
right, right? We see it when highest during the holiday season. Right? Where it's
Hmm.
like, oh, I'll wait till after Christmas, and then oh,
Right.
I'll wait till January 1st. Oh, but it's on a Thursday, so I guess I'll just wait till the 5th, right?
Yeah.
Because the 5th starts on a Monday. So then it's just this
Hmm.
constant cycle of this mental warfare between I want to start something, but I don't want to be committed to it enough to change right now. And I think what you're saying is
Hmm.
very beautiful because what I hear is the only constant in life is the fact that we constantly change.
Yeah,
And so because of
absolutely.
that, you're like, doesn't matter if you're pregnant, doesn't matter if you're in a cycle, doesn't matter if you are the fittest you've ever been in your life, doesn't matter if you're, you know, so far off the rails, like you feel like there's no point of recovery. Right now is a point to be able to get something started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interested in this piece because you're actually the first person I'm talking to that kind of deals with the realm of nutrition with this big change that's came out regarding the new food pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, um, yeah, obviously some people they hear RFK and their blood pressure rises by like, 100 points. I get it. But when we're looking at this food pyramid, what are some of the in your specialty? Um, and I have my take in mind. But in your specialty, what are like the pros that you see in this, right? The good things, and what are some of the potential pitfalls that you see with this new food pyramid?
Uh, I want to start with the pitfalls only because one, I don't see them rationally. I don't see them. I think that it's all great, and I'm very excited about the new food pyramid. The pitfall that I have is that there's not education on like how to make that shift away from like what we thought was true to like now what we know is true.
Mm.
And so the old
Hmm.
food pyramid, they pushed grains and um all of the carby stuff, breads and grains and whole grains and all this kind of stuff. They are all good. They just were in the wrong place. And so if you don't know what we're talking about, the old food pyramid like had grains down at the bottom and then like dairy and protein up at the top and then like fruits and veggies were kind of in the middle. So that means like this is the smallest amount you should have. This is the most you should have. Fun fact that I learned about the old food pyramid, it was created by the cereal companies to sell more cereal for breakfast.
Interesting,
So
isn't it?
that's where that came from. Yeah. So and now the food pyramid is like it's inverted. So we have the meat and vegetables and fruit at the top. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
And
happen
the
to see
grains
this?
are at the bottom. Yes, I can see that.
Okay.
Um, and so we should be eating like I teach my people a balanced plate. So if you look at like a circle, if you look at your plate is a circle, half of your plate should be vegetables, which is like fiber and micronutrients and all that kind of stuff. Fiber is super important. And then quarter of your plate should be protein and a quarter of your plate should be healthy carbs. What do I mean by healthy
Nice.
carbs? If God made it, you can eat it. So fruit and grains and rice, and as long as your body can tolerate it, you can have that. And so, there's always exceptions to the rule. People have sensitivities, and that's where like knowing your body comes in. But I am very, very excited about this new food pyramid, and I think it really aligns with what I teach my people, which is balanced nutrition. Like you should have a balanced plate, again, vegetables, protein, and healthy carbs, and healthy fats are on there as well. And then making sure that you're eating mostly whole foods.
Mm.
That's really important. And again, back to that little phrase that I said, like, if God made it, you can eat it. And I think we get really tied up in, like, I can't have potatoes, or I can't have carbs, or I can't have fruit because there's too much sugar in it. And it's like, all sugar is not created equal, all sodium is not created equal. Like, let's just focus on cutting out the things we can't pronounce. Check your ingredient labels, and if it has sugar or fake sweetener, like ends in OSE, like sucralose or glucose, um, or it has chemicals that we can't pronounce,
Oh
maybe we
yeah.
just skip those things and we focus more on whole foods. Because if we do that, we're going to start to feel better mentally. We're going to be less bloated. Our body will lose inflammation. We'll start to like that brain fog will clear. We're going to sleep better. We're going to have better sex. We're going to
Yeah.
feel better. We're going to have more energy. Like there's so many things that are affected by eating more whole foods that our body was made to eat. And it is a this is something that's going to be, I might get a little sassy. It is not too expensive to eat healthy. I want to challenge you if you think that that it is too expensive to eat healthy, because a lot of people believe that wholeheartedly, because it is a lie that has been perpetuated for as long as I've been, like, I've always known that to be true. It is not true. If you go into your bank account statement, and this is going to hurt your feelings because it hurt my feelings, and check to see how much money you're spending on food
For
out,
sure.
I promise you, there have been multiple clients that I have had that have done this exercise, and they're actually saving more money on food than it cost them to pay me.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable how much we waste on food, and we don't want to admit it. We're too busy. We don't have time. We're too, it's too expensive, but it's just not true. It's just limiting beliefs that's holding us back from being our healthiest. And I really think, without going too far down like a conspiracy
No,
theory hole, you know,
you're not going down it. You're saying something that, quite frankly, needs to be said. You just don't care about it enough.
yeah,
It's that simple. Where it's
yeah,
like, we're not making it a priority, and I get it because I'm the same way. I really am. And it's
yeah,
something that I'm praying through, something that I'm working through, something that just how I grew up. You justify everything.
yeah,
You justify you crushed a workout. Oh, my watch says I burned 1,000 calories, so I can eat, you know, a whole cake or something
yeah,
like that. And it's like, or oh, this doesn't have this doesn't have that much sugar. This only has a little bit of sugar. Yeah, like I'm taking like crumble cookie for example, right?
oh
Oh,
gosh.
oh, those cookies. Come on, come on.
Those cookies are crazy. They're
What are we doing?
delicious, but they're like 4 servings. If you've ever looked at the
Yeah,
nutrition, and this is going to blow
yeah,
some people's minds if you haven't been paying attention, those cookies individually are 4 servings.
yeah.
Who's eating a quarter of a cookie and then putting it down?
No doubt,
No one.
no doubt.
And
And
so it's really more about awareness. Like, I don't count calories. I don't count calories. I don't teach my people to count calories, and you don't have to, but you do need to be aware and pay attention to the things, the food around you. And like, yeah, pay attention to the calories. You don't have to like count them to be like, oh, I don't want to eat a salad that's 2,300 calories for some reason.
right.
Paying attention, just being aware.
And it's like, when we're looking at this on the opposite end of the spectrum, right? There's people that are just like, I love my 70 gram 50 ingredient drink from Starbucks, and I'm just not giving that up. Well, that's okay,
Hmm.
but let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like for me,
Yeah.
like I enjoy sweets. Realistically, of me giving it up, I'm probably not going to do it. Now, do I limit it now?
No.
Absolutely.
And you
Coffee and
shouldn't
half and
have
half.
to.
No, coffee and
Yeah.
half and half and honey. That's like my thing in the mornings. I tried wrestling. Like, am I gonna give this up? Right? Should I give this up? That answer is no. Like, I know I'm not going
Yeah.
to give it up, but I can be honest with that. On the other end, we have like keto or low carb or something like that, and it's like, oh, like I eat all natural because I do keto or I do carnivore or we do something like that, but yet we're crushing like LMNTs, which is like, yes, there's sodium or salt. Yes, there's salt. Yes, there's potassium. Yes, there's a little bit of magnesium. There's also stevia, which is fine in moderate amounts, but there's also natural flavors. So it's like the big thing is like on this journey to health, like let's be honest, let's be
Yeah.
realistic, and let's set realistic expectations.
Yeah, I mean, have treats. I had a what is it called? It was a Starbucks drink, a holiday drink. I was like, I just want one.
Yep.
And I had a venti. I had a half sweet because they're just too sweet for me
Yeah.
now that I don't eat sugar them all the time. But it was a chestnut praline. That's what it was. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, those are delicious. And
of course.
so, but I didn't finish it because I just didn't want it. But I had it.
Wow.
I drank as much of it as I wanted, and then I just got rid of it. And it's not something that's in my like day to day or my week to week, but like I'm gonna have the things that I love. Like, I just spent an entire weekend. Yesterday was my birthday, and so I had a whole birthday weekend celebration.
Come on.
And I had treats on Friday with my girlfriends. I had an alcoholic beverage because occasionally I will have one.
Mhm.
Um, but in general, I feel like alcohol is basically just poison, but I will have it sometimes. Sugar, same thing. Like, sugar is not good for our bodies. There's no argument for that. But sometimes you just want to have some sugar. I love sugar. But when we are the boss versus the sugar being the boss, that's where it's like taking over. But have your treats, be intentional. And then like today I was like, all right, hardcore stop on on sugar from now until I'm going to go on a trip. And
You
so
said today,
from now
starting
until
today.
then, starting today,
Okay.
because yesterday was my birthday. It's not my
Right.
birthday anymore. I
So,
had my cake, I ate it too, and now
yep.
I'm not going to have sugar again because for me, that's when I start to like if as soon as I start to have sugar again, it's like calling to me. And so I have to be like, okay, I'm going to be in charge again. And like you were saying before, be honest with yourself. Like it's okay. I had a thing with my son. He bought me dinner. It was so sweet. And he did the whole like,
What a legend.
told him it was my birthday, so we got the like free cookie skillet and it was amazing. And I had that. I had cake, I had a mimosa sundae, I had, so I had all my treats. You do not have to live a life without treats and be healthy. You don't have to choose between the two, but you
So
need to learn how.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, and I wanna stop and ask this question because I think it's very important. The reason why I said you, so it sounds like you said you did a hard stop today. And your birthday was
Today.
yesterday. Today's
Yep,
Tuesday. Most of
it
the time,
is.
if people lose on a Monday, they're done for the rest of the week. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you have learned to master this like all or nothing mentality. Which honestly,
Yeah.
again, I struggle with it. Like I struggle with all or nothing mentality. I crush it all week, right? The
Mm-hmm.
demon comes about Thursday, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know, chicken Alfredo or something, and then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, I'll just wait till Monday. And you're starting on
Right.
a Tuesday. So how do you see stuff like that? And you start to how can you create a mental shift because it's mental, right? How can you create a
It is
mental
mental.
shift on like, okay, I backslid or I did something for one day or I set realistic expectations knowing it's my birthday, so I had a couple or whatever, but this is a hard stop. What does it look like for Lauren, right? I'm not talking about what you talk to your clients about or anything like that. What does it look like from Lauren's perspective in her own life, her own genuine practice of I'm setting up guardrails to make sure that when Tuesday hits after my birthday, I'm not feeling the residual effects from all those, from hormone imbalance from the weekend. I'm moving forward with a hard stop. How do you set up those parameters?
Um, it took a long time.
Yeah,
Honestly, it was a lot of practice because I used to be very stuck in the all or nothing mindset too. And I would be like, well, I had a donut at breakfast, so I guess my whole day is ruined. I might
for
as well
sure.
have a cheeseburger and pizza for dinner and then I'll start again tomorrow or start again Monday or whatever it is. And so it's been a practice of knowing that I'm only ever one choice away from being back on track and practicing that, like almost saying that to myself. And I don't ever really feel like I've backslid anymore. But again, it took a lot of time and practice. I've been practicing my own personal health journey now for 8 years. I started 8 years ago, and that's crazy to me. But I was able to train my body out of pain through this journey, get healthier. I did shed fat, and tighten everything up and get stronger. But I'm mentally healthier than I've ever been. I'm closer with God than I've ever been. And this journey took me in all of those things. I appreciate what you said earlier. You were talking about no matter if you're the fittest you've ever been in your life. I've coached people who look on the outside super fit, but they feel terrible. They don't feel good. Their body hurts. They don't sleep well. They struggle with all of this all or nothing
Mm,
mindset. They punish their bodies. They just don't feel good. And we should feel good.
yeah.
And if you don't feel good, I actually posted this over the weekend. And it was like, I don't care if you are in a smaller body, but you feel like crap, you are not healthier. And I don't care that you're smaller.
Yeah, they did a
And that's why we don't, I mean, like I have clients that use the scale as a measuring tool. Um, but most of my clients, we just measure and take pictures and we use that tracker that says like how do I feel, like how's my sleep, how is my mood, how is my my anxiety, because that's another thing. um Sugar affects me mentally more than physically.
for sure.
Now eventually it'll affect me physically, but I don't have it often enough that it affects me physically. It affects me mentally, so I will have bad dreams and I have heightened anxiety and depression when I have too much sugar. And I was really feeling that in like around the holidays because I was having treats. And I think I used to blame it on seasonal affective disorder, But now I know it's the sugar. It's having the extra sugar. Yeah, it's having less light because I wouldn't go outside as much, right?
Right, of course.
Um, but also it's the sugar, and it really does impact, and it is that serious. People are like, ah, it's not that big of a deal. Sugar is like the most socially accepted, sugar and alcohol, the most
Yeah.
socially accepted forms of like poison.
Damage.
Yeah, and they are killing our bodies. Dementia is getting traced back to sugar. They're calling it type 3 diabetes. It is impacting our brains. It is impacting our body. It is causing inflammation. Those two things, sugar and alcohol, cause like without exception, cause inflammation in every single human body.
I want to show people this real quick, Lauren. Um, sorry, this is an ad. It's YouTube. I'm gonna show you.
That's okay.
I'm gonna share my screen. There's this video right here. Okay, it's called "What Actual Body Fat Percentage Looks Like." Okay, it's by
Hmm.
Jeff Nippard. Jeff Nippard. I love his YouTube channel. Okay, but Jeff Nippard is a he's an exercise physiologist, right? So he's also an online influencer as well. Yes, but he's big into science based lifting. I'm not big into that. I think you can get too mathematical with it. But this video
Yeah.
does a great job. I just wanted to show everyone what it looks like. It's called, for those that are not watching on video, it's called "What Every Body Fat Percentage Actually Looks Like," from 50% all the way up to 5%. It's looking at men, it's looking at women, and it's looking at both of them throughout that entire duration, okay, between 50% and 5%. So I wanted to show this video. And the reason why is because I wanted people to understand and see that body fat percentage is actually a terrible indicator. No, there is a healthy body fat percentage. I want to make that clear. Okay, yes, there is. But when you're looking at body fat percentage, you think like, oh, the lower the body fat percentage, the better I'm going to feel. And in this video, what they found is that the people with like 30% body fat and higher felt just like, dependent on men or women, based on when they felt that. But they felt just like, symptomatically, they felt just like the people who are 12% and lower, because of the
Yeah.
physical and mental demand that it takes to stay there, right? So you look at the hormonal imbalance from the people who are 30% body fat and higher, particularly in men, because women, there's natural fat in a woman that will make them higher body fat percentage. Excuse me. But the hormonal disruption from the diet, from sugars and stuff like that, that's keeping someone at that upper echelon of body fat, and then the physical and mental demand of what it takes to keep someone at a lower body fat percentage, they feel the same thing. And so, there's a healthy homeostasis to be able to reach that. And I think it's very fascinating. Because we think that the lower the scale, the better we feel. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the case. If we are, and I'll make this very clear, and I have to say this from a clinician standpoint, okay? If the body fat percentage is excess, yes, I mean it does have neurological, hormonal disruptions and complications on your system. That's from a body fat percentage. You can be 300% and 20% body fat. It is possible. So that's why I'm saying not so much weight, but body fat percentage. But let's get to where we feel good. And it seems like that's what
Yeah.
you're doing, right? You're looking at making someone feel good in their skin.
Yeah. And I think like just like you said, like right now, especially for women, it is like you said, it is important for women to carry some fat. It just is. Our
For sure.
bodies were made that way. Like a healthy body fat percentage for a woman is right around 20%.
Right.
Like when we get under that, we start losing our periods, we don't feel good, our joints hurt, our hormones get all jacked up. Like there's a
Yep.
lot that happens if we don't have enough fat in our body. But like you said, like when you have excess, that could cause problems too. And so, but there is not a body size that is like ideal. And you cannot look at a person on the outside and say that person's healthy and that person's unhealthy. Now, sometimes you can. Sometimes you're like, okay, that person has gray skin
Right.
and they're like a twig, they're definitely not healthy. Or this person is struggling to breathe, they're not healthy. Like there is a difference, but
Right.
you cannot look and say like I have clients. I actually have one client who she's in a larger body and she's been on a weight loss journey for a long time and we've been working together and she's doing amazing and it's slow and steady and it's slower than she would like, but it's working. And every time she goes to the doctor, they are like trying to find something wrong with her and they can't. And she's just bigger. She's just in a bigger body. And so you cannot look at this person like I always she's like I'm the healthiest fat person they've ever seen. And this, but it's true. And you can't, it is not an indication of overall health just because you're in a smaller body. In fact, I had a client who was in a smaller body came to me because she was like, I never thought about my health because I always looked fine on the outside, and meanwhile she has fatty liver disease and she's really sick, and we're, helping her heal her body because she's always been in a smaller body, so she just ate whatever she wanted and she didn't care, which is fine. But we have to stop measuring our health by how okay we look on the outside. And especially if we're in a body that's bigger, like I think that there is damage being done by the oh, what is it called? Like body neutrality, not body
I
neutrality,
hear what
but
you're saying.
like
Yeah, but
body acceptance, you
yeah,
know what
body
I'm saying?
positivity.
Like, yes, body positivity.
Yeah,
I think that it's well-meaning. I think it's well-meaning, and I think that it is a good, it's good to love yourself at any size, but love yourself enough to take care of yourself. There's
yeah.
not an exception like, okay, I'm fine with how I look, so it doesn't matter that I eat like crap and I feel like crap and it doesn't, we have to stop measuring what we do and how we take care of ourselves because we get to a point where we're okay with how we look on the outside, or everybody says that we're like, that was something that really bothered me when I first started getting healthy. I was in chronic pain. I had high cholesterol. I had high blood pressure. I was struggling with anxiety and depression. I had no sex drive. I had no, like, I didn't sleep well.
Yeah.
And I was not managing my stress and all of these other things well. And when I started my health journey, I wasn't like morbidly obese, but I was like 40, 50 pounds overweight. And these people would tell me like, well, you look fine. And I'm like, I know. Like, I'm not upset about how I look. I'm upset about how I feel. I'm 30 years old and like I feel like I'm 80. And
Right.
so stop telling people like they don't have to eat healthy because they look fine. That's not what it's for. Like, we need to stop treating like eating real food like some kind of restrictive diet and start taking care of ourselves. Like, our body was created to move, it needs water, and it needs real food. And it needs sleep and it needs light. Like those five things. And then quiet time with God. Like those things, if we can incorporate those things into our life more, not because it's going to change how we look on the outside, but because that's what we need on the inside, we will all be healthier. Like, don't align with the BMI charts. All of that crap takes us down like the wrong path.
Yeah.
I think chasing that like the body type, and I can get in my head about it too. Like, I can look at myself and be like, ugh,
It's human.
I don't look, yeah. So,
But you
but
feel
I
like
know
that. You feel like that if you lost 20% body fat.
right. It's
You
because it's
find a
all up
way.
here. I have had clients that have had the weight loss surgery and lost a lot of weight and thought that that was going to make them happier, and it wasn't. They still can't see themselves clearly, and it's so, oh my gosh, I heard something the other day, and I don't know if this is true. I hope it's not true. Um, but it looked true, and I do your research. I saw something that said that they were going to start allowing or forcing insurance companies to pay for weight loss surgeries for people that were only 35 to 40% body fat. And I was like, I'm like 30.
Yeah.
Would I be able to qualify for weight loss? I'm like, really? And so we
That.
have to stop chasing these skinny bodies. Like right now, it's in Hollywood, that like heroin chic that was popular when we were when we were kids, the 90s, is back. Like this super skinny, it's just it breaks my heart. And I just feel like if we could just get back to the basics, get back to the fundamentals, get back to, I mean, I do a retreat, a women's retreat every fall, and Dr. Amy Beard came and spoke, and she said, before you ever come to me about your hormones, before you ever get any testing there, are you doing these foundational things? Are you eating mostly whole foods? Are you cutting out sugar and chemicals? Are you drinking enough water? Are you moving your body? Are you getting enough sleep? if you're not doing those things, don't come to me, because I can't do anything for you if you're not doing those things first. Because no amount of supplements, no amount of medications. I was watching something the other day that said, like, there are no medications that heal or reverse heart disease. No medications that reverse diabetes. No medications that reverse, like all of these
Mm.
chronic illnesses that we suffer from. But you know what does reverse them? Healthy habits, changing the way that we're eating, changing the way that we're moving, sleeping enough, dealing with our stress, not just numbing it with food and alcohol and, screen time. Sorry. Whew.
No,
What
for
was the
sure.
question?
For sure. You know, for sure. Because it is, you're right. There's a numbing process, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
definitely, and a lot of it, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, everything ties back to like some event from childhood. Like, yes, I've been through some stuff growing up, but I don't like to tie everything to that. But there is a reality of that. The way that we coped in childhood is also how we cope today. So it's just about
Yeah.
taking that, reorienting that, and making sure that we can stay on pace and on path, and also know that we're not going to get there overnight. It's
Yeah.
one foot in front of the other, knowing that if we take two steps back and one step forward, we're still one step ahead, right? So, and then you
Absolutely.
multiply that over how many days, over how many weeks, over how many months, over how many years, and God willing, for the rest of our life, we'll find ourselves pretty happy by the time we're on our deathbed. So,
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
want to, not only just want to thank you for being on, but I just want to thank you for all the wisdom that you've given us to us today, because this is stuff that obviously people pay a lot of money for. You know what I mean? They pay you for your coaching, they pay you for your retreats, and you willingly came on here on a podcast and just dropped a lot of gold for everyone who's listening to this. If there was one thing, one sentence, one paragraph, whatever it is, if there was one thing that you could tell to someone that's listening to this, who's literally like, I hear all of this, but there's no way that I'm able to get started. I'm too far gone. There's nothing I can do. If there's one thing you could say to that person, what is it?
I would say, just start. Take some extra steps today, drink some extra water today, eat some extra vegetables today, and then tomorrow eat some extra protein and do 10 squats every time you go to the bathroom. And, just move more. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect if you hire me and we work together. And so breaking away from that all or nothing and just practicing better than before. Maybe that's it. Better than before.
Come
Just
on,
do better than before.
come on.
And set your sights on years, not days or weeks or even months. Like, think ahead to, okay, I'm going to commit to being more consistent in this one thing for 5 months. And then I'll be consistent with that one thing plus another thing for 5 more months, whatever it is. But you're never, ever too far gone. Most of the women that I coach and train are over 50. I've trained some women that were over 70 that started when they were over 70 and improved their life drastically. Able to travel and climb the stairs at the Coliseum and, lift their bags, their luggage over their heads and, be able to walk, be able to, oh my gosh, this was an amazing win from one of my people over the holidays. She was able to get down on the floor and play with her grandbaby and get back up by herself. And so you're never too far gone. It just takes time, and don't give up.
Yeah, that's what that right there. Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting. How can
Yeah.
people find you?
They can go to my website, kingdomwellness360.com. I'm Kingdom Wellness 360 everywhere on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, kingdomwellness360.com. You can schedule a free coaching call. I'd love to talk to you. And I at least point people in the right direction, no matter whether they hire me or not. I'm still going to give you direction for your real life. So reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'd love to talk to you. And as you can tell, it's my passion to help people actually get healthier. It's not just my business, it's my ministry too.
What I love about Lauren, and I'm going to leave it with this. Lauren, what you see is what you get. You know, what you see is what you get. And I'm trying to do that with guests that I'm bringing onto the podcast, that it's not one thing when we get on the podcast, and then if they were to work with you or talk to you outside of here, they're like, wait, this is a completely 180 of what I seen on the screen. No. What you see is what you get. What you hear is exactly how she will talk to you. She treats you like family, just like she's treated not just me, but my own wife as well. God bless you, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming out. For those who are listening, thank you so much for listening to the Happier, Healthier Arkansas podcast. Until next time, God bless you. Stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you soon.